Good evening to my loyal 134 subscribers. A real quick episode of the Krakens Lair Comics. A couple things to show you, a couple things to talk about real quick. I got to go to work this evening, so just kind of showing you some books and we'll wrap this up. First thing, a special shout out to Dope Comics for two things coming up here. But the first one is he showed a couple of books by Dell Comics. Their 12-cent cover prices came out somewhere in the late 60s that focused on Universal Studio monsters. So there's like a Dracula one, a Frankenstein one, a Wolfman, a Mummy, and the Creature. I think I've shown this before, but strangely I did do it on my thing where I was showing a lot of Creature of the Black Lagoons, like the model I painted and like the little creature toy that I have. But I learned something new, and this is one of the things where it doesn't matter how long you've been collecting comic books, there's always something new to learn. And he showed this. I'm going to flip the screen real quick. He showed this Dell Creature of the Black Lagoon. Now, I found this at some just random antique store. I have a penchant for being able to find comics. My wife always comments on that. She's like, no matter where we go, you find comics. And it's like, well, yeah, they call out to me. Anyway, I hadn't even noticed this, but this is actually a second print. And there's two ways you can tell. One, if you see a first print, the first print came out, it says January to December, I believe I'm correct. This one says August through October. The white banner below the Dell 12 cents is also wider than on the first print. It's much thinner. Part of the reason it's wider, and I never even noticed it, it actually, right there in tiny, it says second printing. And I had never even noticed that. I honestly didn't even know that they did second printings of books that early in comic book history. So I learned something new. Thank you, Dope. So everybody, if you're wanting to collect the Dell Monster series, be aware that they did do second printings of those books. And obviously there's age to this book, so with most comic books where it's older and it's high condition, especially if it wasn't particularly collectible, so maybe wasn't taken as care of as other books from the same time frame, it's probably worth a little bit of money, especially first print. So be on the lookout for that. You saw the second book. I talk about how I love Ghost Rider, and I had showed the book where it's like different incarnations of the Spirit of Vengeance throughout history. So there's a number of number one appearances. That is this book, Ghost Rider number 33. Definitely, if you're a Ghost Rider fan, worth picking up. So I had talked about it, and I think it's Avengers Legacy #1, and they had a number of Marvel characters. I don't know, man, like Stone Age, like Paleolithic time or something like that. And so there's like a Black Panther, a Phoenix, and one of the characters is Ghost Rider, who rides this flaming woolly mammoth, and I thought that was really cool. So I'm looking into getting that, but then I was also thinking the future of Ghost Rider, and if some of you are unaware, there's this character called the Cosmic Ghost Rider that came out in Thanos number 13. Now, there are a number of different print runs of this. Certainly, first print versus second print versus third print, you're talking a different price tag. On the first printing, Cosmic Ghost Rider doesn't even show up on the cover. This is the third printing, I believe, but the fact that it really shows the Cosmic Ghost Rider riding his cosmic flame spaceship thing, I thought it was kind of cool. Didn't spend a lot of money on it, and I thought that would be fun. My understanding is the story is like the Punisher sells his soul to the devil, gets the powers of Ghost Rider, but then Thanos sort of takes him on, like, sort of like a Herald of Galactus kind of situation, and imbues him with even more power, and he becomes the Cosmic Ghost Rider. So I thought that was fun. Now, I had referenced, I think in the last two videos, an approach to collecting where you don't nickel and dime your finances away buying a bunch of $5 books or $20 books or $50 books or $100 books. Like if you hold on to those finances and save up for something key, you might be able to afford something that you would have thought was out of your price range. So this kind of flies in the face of that a little bit. So I do make some exceptions to that rule. However, I do have a pretty key issue on the way, supposed to arrive today. And I have another one that I'm taking advantage of the very kind payment plan that Chris of the We Love Comics offers on his books at auction, where you can get different terms in regards to a 2-month payment plan, a 4-month payment plan, a 6-month payment plan, depending on the price tag attached to that book. I've seen him even extend, I think, up to a 2-year payment plan for a pretty major, like over like a $3,000 comic book. So he's willing to work with you, and that's really awesome because it allows you to afford books where you don't have to have all of that money in one chunk. So I am currently taking advantage of that payment plan. So I'm trying to sort of curtail my comic book spending until I get that paid off. And I also try to get ahead of having my books on a payment plan to him paid off before he does the next auction, because I know there'll be other books that will show up for auction that I'm going to want. And I try not to get, too deep in the hole to Owen Chris money. As much as he's very reasonable, and as long as you're sending in your payments and communicating with him and letting him know what's going on, he is willing to work with you. So back to Dope Comics. He did a little quick video, and I don't know where he arrived at the price tag, but it was called a $4.19 cup challenge. So I don't know if he just got like a little cup next to his nightstand and he's putting change in there, when he gets home from work at the steel meal or whatever, and looked at it and there was $4.19 in it. So he decided to go off to a local comic shop to see what he could find for $4.19. Now, he did not come back with a modern book. It was probably a later bronze Daredevil book. I can't remember the issue number. It wasn't super low, but I think it puts it somewhere, in the Copper Age, or maybe the Bronze Age, somewhere around Bronze Age, Copper Age, somewhere around there. And his total price tag with tax on that was $3.95. His point being that if you're willing to go and hunt for books and you put in the effort, you can find some good things out there. And it was really a high condition book. It was actually going to be an upgrade over the one that he currently had in his private collection. So I don't really have a local comic book shop too nearby. So I sort of took the spirit of that thing and I was like, what can I find? And so I found a lot of, I'm going to show you. I found a lot of 23 books. The guy, and this is like horror stuff and things that I really love. And most of them are very, very high condition. You will see in a lot of these books where, I don't know if he put the price tags on them or if he bought the collection from somebody and that's what they were wanting to get per each one of these books that range from $5, $10, $15. And he had the whole 23 issue lot at a buy it now best offer of, or maybe there might not even have been a best offer. I think it was like $60 plus $10 shipping. And when I saw this, there was like a day or less in the auction till the time ran out. And so I sent him a real nice text. This is another thing I learned from Chris at We Love Comics. Don't be afraid to ask for deals. I didn't offer the guy $5 for the lot. I did something fair. And basically I was like, hey, if nobody bids on this and the auction ends, would you consider taking $45 for the 23 issue comic lot plus the shipping? And he agreed. So, saving $15 off a $60 price tag, somebody else who's better with math is going to have to figure out what that percentage is, but a decent chunk. And when I broke down the math after tax, I paid $2.39 per book. That's not bad. So I'm going to show these real quick. I have this entire run. This is probably one of the worst conditions. Chamber of Darkness #1. It's 25 cents because it was a thicker special. The time frame for these books was when comic books were like 15 cents a piece. You'll see that in the ones I'm showing. Now this does have, you know, some corner edge wear, a number of ticks and stuff along the spine, but other than the spine, it looks really nice. It's got really good color. There's no hunks missing out. And as you can see, somebody at one point had a $5 price tag on this. Issue #2 was not in the lot. As I said, I do have a copy of this. This is very high grade. There's 2 little dings in the corner and right there by the staple. But once again, the edges look really nice. Colors pop on this. This is Chamber of Darkness #3. Obviously, you'll see, once again, I don't know who put these prices on there, but a $15 price tag. And if I probably searched this issue up individually and you know, assigned a grade to it or whatever, I think it's worth all of $15 for sure. Like I said, I don't know how this guy acquired this collection, what he paid for it. Maybe his wife's like, honey, you got too many comic books, you know, you got to clear the garage out. And so he was just like, you know, heck with it, man. I'm just gonna let these go for a song. Maybe he's taking that money to save towards bigger key issues. #5. This is really high grade. The tiniest little thing missing off the corner. But other than that, this looks really good. Tight staples, nice and straight. Great color. Also a $15 price tag on it. I think this is worth every bit of $15. Moving on to #6. As I said, the song remains the same on this. Like, these are all very high condition. Obviously, I have to look at the back of the comic books, make sure there's no water damage or coupons cut out or, you know, pages missing or what have you. Once again, for $2.39 a piece for these, it's a win either way. Even just to have these to read, especially this age of Marvel like horror anthologies, I really love. Really fun stories. I urge people to check them out. You can find them relatively cheap if you're a newer collector, you know, and that nostalgia of that time frame when these books came out appeals to you, but maybe it's, you know, harder to get key issues from that era. It's really kind of fun stuff. So here's #6. Absolutely gorgeous. Like, once again, without going through it, I would easily put this at a 7.5. I mean, it could be an 8. I mean, it's really pretty. #8, and like I said, the colors on all these are just amazing. Somebody like really took care of these. I'll probably look at the copies I have, upgrade most likely to these because the condition is so nice, and sell my other ones. So that is the Chamber of the Darkness. Now we go into DC books. I don't normally collect DC books, but like I said, I like monster stuff. Some of these covers really appeal to me. This is probably on equal condition with the Chamber of Darkness #1. However, this is, I'd have to look up the years. This is a DC Challengers of the Unknown with a 12-cent cover price. I don't know if that circle with the 10 means that they wanted $10 for it. That's what I'm assuming. This is a lower grade. This is probably, I'd put this at about 3.5. Being that the issues with it are color breaking creases, some damage to the lower right hand corner, A pressing is not going to help get rid of those defects. I would have to look this up. I don't even think in high grade it would really command tons of money that would make it worth the cost of pressing, dry cleaning, and certainly, getting it graded. I just don't know if there's enough wiggle room in these books to absorb an additional $50 cost, unless I thought, okay, this is like at least like an 8.5 or 9 potential. I don't know if these are in any kind of order, possibly. So that is number 38, Challengers of the Unknown. Much better condition. Still some edge wear along the spines. Nothing to get excited about. A few creases. Some that don't break color. Challengers of the Unknown, number 39. Then it looks like we flip the script. No, once again, I don't think these are in any kind of order. This looks interesting. So we go from Challengers of the Unknown from Beyond the Unknown, and here we see some sentient gorillas with a man in a bell jar. Be careful, son. You're liable to hurt your little pet. As he's reading the Daily Mail and smoking his cigar while his wife is knitting gorilla clothes. They had this on the price tag here, $5, very good condition. 48 pages, only 25 cents. So that was number 14, much better condition. Number 20. I'm going to sort of ease up on the commentary of this and just show these. Like I said, I got to get to work. 52 big pages, only 25 cents. Number 15, yeah, so these are not in order. That is really high condition. 15, number 21. That dark star is absorbing the sun's heat, turning Earth into an ice world. See, I love stuff like that. I love these covers, man. This stuff is just so cool to me. $2.39 a piece. This one's 64 pages. Super size. From Beyond the Unknown, number 11. Invaders from the space satellites. That's awesome. Yeah, totally out of order. Number 19, From Beyond the Unknown, also very high condition. Surprised I got a $10 price on this one. And only $5 on this one. I want to read this. Paul Revere of Time. Yeah, Return to the Neanderthal Man. Fun stuff. These are just really nice. Number 25. Supersize. 64 pages to stagger the imagination. Original price, 25 cents. Gosh, these are nice. I hope it doesn't seem like I got too much glare on the bag, and I really hope that the colors and stuff on this are really coming through. I mean, like this looks like a brand new book. I mean, just nice, crisp edges, awesome color. Wow. Oh, that's number 1, From Beyond the Unknown. Number 1. Okay. See, that might be worth looking up. That might actually have some value, especially because I said it is really nice. We're setting you aside. Another earlier one, number 9. And I'll have to look on these that say super size. I don't know if it's like a giant size or like an annual, like where there's, there's Avengers number 1, but there's Avengers annual 1. So I don't know if they're just plugging the fact that it's an extra thick issue by, saying it's super size, or I don't know if there's like From Beyond the Unknown number 9, and then From Beyond the Unknown super size number 9. So that'll be important to learn that. I actually have a copy of these, this one, which is really chewed up. So this is definitely going to be an upgrade. I mean, this is like an 8.5. Number 24. I mean, that thing is gorgeous. Number 22. Stack's getting a little big. We're almost there, folks. I'm just amazed at the kid. I mean, I know I keep saying it, but I'm seeing these for the first time. I mean, the guy had, he had a number of pictures on his listing, but most of them showed, multiple books. And so there was only so much you could zoom in on it. But once again, for what I paid for these, I wasn't really that concerned. Number 23. This is number 16. Now, this one does have some spine roll, because you can see where you see the title there, From Beyond the Unknown, on these larger books like that should be completely on the edge. So there is spine roll to that one, but nothing to get excited about. Maybe a little bit on this one. Number 17. It looks like Richard Nixon. What's it say? Your patient is stark raving mad, doctor. It is scientifically impossible that there could be a planet like Earth whose most famous leader is named Nixon. Okay. That's crazy. I guess that dates this one, man. Number 17. Last one. This is also one of those 64 pages, supersize. Number 8. Interesting graphic of some degraded Statue of Liberty. Very fun stuff. So, flipping the screen one more time to my face. So, everybody, I mean, that's a whole lot of fun for $2.39 a book. I don't remember exactly with the tax. Like I said, the guy accepted $45. The shipping was like $9 and something, and then the eBay tax on that. But yeah, there's some of these are gonna be worth looking up just to see. And like I said, I know I have some of these, very few of them. I wouldn't have bought the lot if I had most of them, and that would have been a stupid expenditure of money. But really, just I'm super pleased. The guy packaged it great. Put it in a box. Had the whole group of books bound like tightly in bubble wrap to keep them from shifting, and then put a larger thing of bubble wrap around that, so when it fit into the box, they also would not shift around. So for just the number of comic books in this and how he packaged it, certainly that $9 and change for shipping was not misspent. He wasn't using it as a money grab, because I hate that. Don't list the book for $1 and then have $18 shipping on it. If you want $18 for the book, list the book for $18. You're not fooling me. When I was like, because I've shipped comic books and I know how much, like especially shipping one, even well packaged, I know how much that costs. So I'm not buying a book from like, the fifth moon of Saturn. So when I see it's coming from, Florida or Ohio or something like that, and you're wanting like 15, 16, 20 bucks shipping, and especially like we're not talking like a graded book that's going to have more weight to it, or maybe you're putting a little bit more into materials in there, or if it's say a super valuable book to where you're going to want to spend extra money on insurance, because I've certainly ran into that, and you can get up to like 14, 15 bucks if the standard $150 insurance that is offered for shipping priority mail is not going to cover the loss of that book. You don't want to get left holding the bag, and certainly the mail system can cause some damage, can lose some things. So if I'm sending somebody a book that has a value of whatever, $500-600, I'm not going to just roll the dice on the $150 shipping in case something happens and now it is no longer in the condition that the purchaser, when he laid out the money, and then all of a sudden we're both out. Either he offers me a lot less because now the condition is less, much less they just lose your book, and it's just gone in the wind. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we're sorry that the book was valued was $600, Mr. Cochran, but here's $150. Thank you for using the USPS. So anyway, I'm gonna let everybody go. I'm at 25 minutes now. Certainly some things I have not seen before. I know a lot of people, my friend Chance, Chris from We Love Comics, they're not so much into the sci-fi and the horror stuff, and they're much more into just the superhero books. I really enjoy this stuff. I mean, it's such just a glimpse of a time period in comic book collecting. And let me know what you think of the $45, that in shipping that I spent on this. If you feel, that was way overpriced, I should have offered him less. Everybody, enjoy comics, enjoy comic book collecting, enjoy the hunt. I do agree with Chris. There's a lot of excitement when you're flipping through long boxes and all of a sudden, boom, there's some gem. I mean, even if it's a minor key, but something you're like, they should be charging way more than $2 for this or $5 for this, and you find those little scores out there, and then that's always fun. But I wanted to participate in the $4.19 cup challenge. This was the closest I could do to it, being that I wasn't on my way to a comic book shop. Everybody, enjoy comics, enjoy comic book collecting. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.